Taken off the consent agenda, the FY 2008 enhancement funds. And so we'll receive a report at this time from Ms. Gilstrap, Chairman of the Finance Committee, that heard this matter earlier.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Finance Committee heard the recommendation regarding the 2008 enhancement funds. The action that was requested by the committee, and we did this afternoon, Council has approved the match for the enhancement funds through the adoption of the budget. And the motion that was requested for us today, which we did in finance, approval to contribute a 20% match and authorization to submit pre-application. And the impact of this action would be to complete first phase of enhancement application process for SIDWALKS to fund 80% of a county-wide sidewalk project. And we did send that forward for approval.
Yes, ma'am. So where does it go from here procedurally? We need a motion to approve from council right now. So, well, as soon as we get a motion, we'll have discussion.
Okay.
You don't make a
and
motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve contribution of 20% match and authorize an authorization to submit pre-application.
Thank you, ma'am. Now the floor is open for discussion, and I imagine Mr. Trout wants to be heard.
Thank you so much, sir. I have no problem with adding 20%, so that comes to $380,000. But this grant is for countywide. As it stands right now, you're only going to you're doing 4 different roads, 3 in District 19 and 1 in District 26. And what about the other 10 districts? I feel like we need to kind of divide this up a little bit more than the way it's divided up right now. And I would like to maybe send this back to the commission and let them look at it a little stronger there and maybe divide it out just a little bit more. I appreciate that because District 18, I know District 17, we need sidewalk system as anybody else does.
I asked that question in the Finance Committee, the very question about how many projects were on the list, and the answer was a lot of projects, a long list, covers the whole county, and there's just simply not enough money to cover all those, so they take the projects that are the top priority on top of the list and work down from there. So I understand that we don't have enough money and that we can't do everything, but instead of doing 3 feet of a sidewalk in each district, why don't we complete a project and then get to those other districts as the funds become available? It might take a little more time, but to me that makes a little more sense. But I understand your position as well, and we'll just let the council answer that when they vote on the motion.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion?
What determines the priority on those, Mr. Chairman? The top priority.
This comes from the staff, the engineering department, and the experts that do these things.
I can clarify a little bit. The staff ranks them based on a need and the usability of them. In other words, where the projects where people are more likely to use them to walking to schools, for example, to make more pedestrian routes to schools. That cuts down on traffic and bus trips and things like that, and then also other factors that go into that, or which projects are the usability factor, not just to a school but to other amenities, to shopping or to other uses that a community might have. So they look at the area that is going to be served, the population around it, and the actual use. What are you're doing a sidewalk from point A to point B, what are people likely to do back and forth on it? Those are the significant points or poignant points that they use to judge put the projects in order.
Is this a numerical study? For example, do they have numbers to back up? There's so many people that are going to walk on the sidewalk, as opposed to we believe because it's busy and this is within 2 blocks of a school, we just believe that this is going to be a high priority rather than having a number.
I think they analyze empirical data, but personally, that's more than I want to know, because I've got a lot of other things to think about, so I'll just take the staff's recommendation on it. I know y'all.
There is a ranking.
Yeah, it's a numerical ranking.
I just look forward to working on it, to see it. I like his questions there.
Yeah, I understand he's a chemist.
You'll learn after a while how it works.
Mr. Dale?
This is not revitalization of any sidewalks that are existing. Is that true? This is building new sidewalks?
That's the way it was presented, I understand.
I think so.
Now, I love sidewalks.
I know we had another fund, I don't know where it's at right now, but we used to have a fund for revitalization. And put like $30,000–40,000 a year in.
Well, we should bring it forward, because none of these are in District 27, and I love sidewalks. I wish we had more money for that.
Mr. Chair.
I don't have anywhere to put sidewalks.
Ms. Gibson?
Yeah, I have a comment. I've been living on the street I live on, paying tax for 7 years. We walk in ditches every day, and then I have the kids out there on the next street that go to the recreation center nap and walk in the ditch. And one guy even got locked up because he's walking on the other side of the street that, was not as, the ditch was not as deep. And he was not facing cars, which meant that he wasn't following the rules, and they put him in jail for that. So I really would like for this money to be looked at a little closer too, because we may not get every district settled with just 2, but we might get just a little something in every district if we could, those districts that really have real problems, and I have some of the real problems.
Well, what I'd recommend we do is we approve this and then look for more money for more sidewalks in all the districts as we move forward this year. That's my thoughts on it. Any other comments?
I was looking at something, excuse me.
Go ahead.
But this is a whole lot of sidewalk here. That they're getting, and on these few roads here. And I really do think that they could divide it up just a little bit more. Maybe we can get some dinner and some.
Well, I hate for a sidewalk to run out, before it gets to where it's supposed to go. But that's up to y'all now. We got a motion on the floor, and there's no further
We
discussion.
got a motion on the floor, implement motion saying, send back to the committee.
We got a motion to approve on the floor.
After that motion came a motion.
I didn't hear a
to
motion.
Send back to, you didn't hear Tony Trapper, he
I
said
didn't say,
send it
I
back
didn't hear
to,
the word motion.
he said send it back to the committee to study,
I
so
thought that
there's
was
some
his
more of
opinion
us
and
to that.
discussion.
My ears working pretty good. Did anybody else hear that, or am I dreaming? I could be hallucinating.
Mine, the council will speak up greatly. I heard Ms. Gilstrap made a motion.
She made a motion.
We put it on the floor, and in the discussion, Mr. Trout said it was his belief that we ought to send it back.
I
That's
thought
what-
he said I
that's
make a
what-
motion. If he didn't say I make a motion, which I thought would take precedent over Ms. Gilstrap's motion, I apologize. Did you say that, or did you not? That I make a
I
motion?
didn't utilize the word motion. I did say, I think we should send it
Mark
back.
that on that thing, because I can't believe that.
It would have the same effect if
So I
enough
hate-
people vote against the motion, it would have, then the motion would be in order to do something else with it. I mean,
I want to hear that from that recording, because I don't see how I dreamed up motion.
Why don't I just make a motion, we approve it? That problem?
That's already, that's.
but I mean, Ms. Gilstrap's already got that on the floor.
Why don't we vote on that?
All right, I think the discussion has deteriorated, so we're going to go ahead and vote on this thing. All in favor of Ms. Gilstrap's motion to approve, please say aye. Aye. All opposed?
No.
Well, the ayes have it. Did you vote no, Dr. King?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I counted 3 against and the rest of them in favor. So it passes on that basis.